Hey everyone, glad to be back actually. Really, some big stuff that went on for the last 2 weeks. I could not post. I could not do anything. I was looking at the bottom of my phone, but of course, I've got my phone sideways. I want to say first and foremost, happy coming out day. It's my, uh, technically, it's my third one coming out. But it's my first one actually ever posting coming out on National Coming Out Day. Uh, I've been out for 3 years. I came out in 2018 now. January 2018, actually. Actually, it was the 1st of January 2018. I was up in Wichita Falls. I was driving a taxi, and I wasn't being true to myself. And whenever I mean I wasn't being true to myself, I was taking all that I had and just, it was like one thing after another. It was horrible. And it's kind of hard for me to talk about it, but I'm going to try to get through this. I'm going to try to tell you my story in just a few minutes. But really coming out meant it actually put a lot of weight off of me. And I hope this helps out everybody. For me, whenever I came out trans and bisexual. All at one time. There wasn't no, like, give it a couple years, give it this, give it that. No, it was like right then. And I was wondering how many times, or how many, I get lost for words. Sorry. How much heartache would it bring to me? And it has a lot. I've lost friends. I've lost people that was around me 24/7 because they could not take my truth. And my truth is that I am trans and that I'm bisexual. And it took me a while to, post up the nerve to post the video on YouTube, on Facebook, on everywhere. And, I talked to old classmates that I had back whenever I was in high school and junior high and stuff like that. And they could have they saw something going wrong, but they didn't know what it was. They could not put a finger on what it was, and it was this. Now, here's my story. Whenever I was 10 years old, I was, I felt different about myself. I felt like I wasn't supposed to be a male. I wasn't supposed to, I felt very dysphoric with, you know, with the male genitalia and everything else. I really hated it, to tell you the truth. I've done everything possible to remove my pretty much everything that I could uh, to have that in the front of my brain. Like I said, I get lost for words. I'm sorry. So, whenever uh, whenever I was 15, I felt differently about people in general. I really didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't want to really be around, anyone. Uh, just in certain, I I wanted to be by myself because I felt differently about everyone. I felt differently about just about everything. And the reason why I did not tell my parents whenever I was younger is because at that time, Texas, they noted being gender dysphoric or having gender dysphoria as a as a debilitating disease. Don't know how it's a disease, but they say it's debilitating, and the only way to somewhat get over it was going to uh, a state mental hospital or a state mental ward, uh, such as a state school here in Texas, or what they are now calling a state supported living center. I wasn't going to put my family through that. Even at 9 and 10 and all the way up through 15, I wasn't going to put my family through that. Then I lost my father whenever I was 15. And July. Yeah, it was July 16th, 2000. I was 15. I lost my father. I was suicidal to the point where I'd just walk in front of a rig and not feel it. That was my first suicide attempt. Then, second of all, I'm not going to name the person that actually saved me from that. I believe that they want to be not known for that, but thank you. Whenever I got into, I kept on putting stuff in front of me throughout the years of, trying to make everybody else happy, trying to make, try to do something to where everything would just block out me being trans, me being bisexual, and all. I try to put that in front of me, and it never did work. It never did. It always came up. It always came up really quick. Then whenever I was in my last relationship, I was getting beat every day. I'd go to work with black and blue marks. Sorry, that's not the COVID, I promise you. I went to work with black and blue marks. I tried to lift weights, try to get more muscular and everything. And it never did. It made my dysphoria just run rampant. And 2017, I started talking to a therapist that runs gender studies. And, you know, I started feeling better about myself. And what led me to go to a therapist is actually a Halloween. No, it wasn't a Halloween prank. It was a April Fool's prank. I was looking up stuff. I was like, hey, look, I'm going to look up a bunch of trans stuff, you know, to play a prank on my mother and everything else. And then that's whenever it hit like a ton of bricks. I mean, just went right up to that wall and hit it full on. Whenever I was younger, I didn't know what to call it. I did not know, okay, this is exactly what it is. And I've always been fascinated by it, but I never did know how to come out, how to do anything else. So I did it the way that anybody else would. Well, not anybody else. Just me, really. I don't tell nobody, I just post stuff. That's me. And sometimes I get in trouble for it, sometimes I don't. I'm one of those oh well type people. But whenever I came to the acknowledgement that this is what I am, I was like, I can't pull this prank. I can't. So, April Fools, I never did do anything for April Fools. In fact, April Fool's Day, the next day after I got out of the cab of a taxi, I went directly to this therapist that does gender studies. And that's whenever we had our first talk. And whenever I told her my story, now this is the shortened down, condensed version of my story. Whenever I told her my story, she point blank said, hey, look, this is who you are. You should not be hiding. You should not be closeted And I told her how how my mom was and how my rest of my family was. And she understood. Now, at first, my parents, they was diehard Democrats. They was straight ticket voters, so on and so forth. But then whenever President Obama got out of office, they decided that Democrats are socialists, and the only way to get away from all of that was to vote Republican. They voted for Trump, and so did I, actually. And I'm not afraid to say it, but I'm an independent. But that's a whole nother thing, because I got a strong rant on that. So, after I came out to the therapist, she told me to put down names in a notebook and call them one by one and tell them. So I called my friend Rachel, told her. Called my friend Danielle, told her. I tried to call Nick to tell him. He wouldn't pick up. He's kind of busy. He's a busy bee. I will tell you that much. So I wasn't really expecting him to pick up or anything else. And I told several people, but then I was like, you know what? I can't live with myself if I just sit there and just tell one by one by one by one by one. I'm just going to get it over with. I was real emotional at the time. So I made a card, those card things, because those was big at the time. So I made the little card things, and I just flipped them down one by one. And I'll link my coming out video to this at some point during today, but that's exactly what I did. Is I just took the card, went down, and tears was rolling down my cheeks and everything else. But I can't wait until I get my hormones straightened out and start having my surgeries. I'm trying to get, during this whole COVID stuff, I'm trying to get enough money for my orchiectomy, trying to get enough to go see a bariatric surgeon, because I'm wanting to get rid of all of this weight. I'm also trying to get help with my voice, because my voice is very bassy. And I'm trying to get help pretty much all over, but I'm working, and I just got out of the hospital 2 weeks. I had been in for 2 weeks for kidney stones. And so I am basically trying to take care of that, trying to take care of all of this work. Stream. I stream on Live most of the time. I'm going to be starting to stream on here. So I really appreciate each and everybody. I'm going to cut it off now. But I appreciate each and everybody that has seen my story, or what I put up as it, like here. Uh, thanks for, being there. Now, I did not go over all 3 attempts, but, you know, I will post a longer story for everything. This is just to come out. So I do appreciate each and everybody that views this video on National Coming Out Day, because guess what? It's all about you. And I know my camera is ratty because of, well, I don't have my stand, my little stand that I put on the window, so I can't really, it won't stay in one place, so I'm having to put it in, notebooks right here, and back behind it is a clipboard, so I'm having to get a little MacGyver on this. So, like I said, thank you for coming and seeing this. I hope the best on National Coming Out Day. And much love to each and every one of y'all. Whether you're closeted or whether you've already came out. It's your choice. But you know what? Let's talk. Let's be friends. I'm here for you. And I know you're here for me. Much love. Peace.